What if I told you that most cancer patients don't get the full benefits from the cancer treatments given to them by their oncologists? Unfortunately, most oncologists don't give patients a real and scientifically accurate answer. Some oncologists even say, eat whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. Nothing could be further from the truth. If the cancer comes back, almost certainly it's because the stem cells of the cancer regenerated the cancer. So good news. There are foods that can kill cancer stem cells. Like what, you might ask? Welcome to Dr. Leon Plow's Real Insights on the Cutting Edge. This is a stripped down, no fluff conversation where I take you behind the scenes as a scientist and doctor to break down what's real versus what's hype when it comes to your health. It's raw, unscripted, no sugarcoating, just real talk and real science. And today we're diving into foods you should eat if you've been diagnosed with cancer. Now, why does this matter what the science says and what you can do about it? That's what we're going to get into today. Are you ready? Let's go for it. First, let's talk about food and cancer in general, because every individual who's diagnosed with cancer always wonders what they did wrong that actually led them to develop cancer. Now, it could be genetics, it could be environmental exposures, or it could also be a lifetime of poor diet. A lot of different factors contribute to the mutations that happen in our body that result in the development of cancer. Now, it is true that some foods can actually contribute to causing cancer, although it's very rare that a single food does it. But I want to address this because a lot of people say, well, what foods did I eat or what foods should I avoid that might be causing cancer, right? Because you hear so much about harmful foods. Oh, look, there is a laundry list of foods that can increase the risk of developing cancer. And these include some disturbingly common foods like processed meat. Now, processed meats are actually classified as a class 1 carcinogen by the World Health Organization, all right? So you might say, well, what's an example of a processed meat or process? Well, sausages, hot dogs, deli meats, salami, ham, bacon, corned beef, probably these comfort foods that we all grew up with. They've been shown that they can increase your risk of developing cancer if you eat them not once, but if you eat them over time, you eat too much of them. You have too much exposure to processed meats, and that actually increases your risk for digestive cancers. So that's including colon cancer, all right? Not surprising. The meats and stuff, the chemicals have to go through your gut, going down to your colon. Now, here's another cancer risk that's related to meat, and that is grilled meats. Now, this isn't about the meat itself. It's really about the grilling process that coats the meats with carcinogens or cancer-causing chemicals, toxic chemicals. One of them is called polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. That's polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. I know it's a mouthful. I'm going to abbreviate it as PA, all right? Now, these are carcinogens that form when the oils from the fat drip down into the flame and smoke, right? That's what gives you that nice grilled meat taste. Now, that rising smoke containing the carcinogens deposits the carcinogens all over the meat underneath it. That's okay. Now, high grilling temperatures also convert the amino acids and proteins that are found in the meat. Proteins are actually made of amino acids. The high heat actually converts proteins into another toxic carcinogen called heterocyclic amines, HCAs, all right? And these heterocyclic amines, by the way, and the PAs, if you don't carefully cook the grill surface, they actually are all over that black char that's left on the grill. So the next time you're grilling food, all right, make sure you really, really clean those grates from the last cooking period of time, because that last grilled meat session left these carcinogens on that grilled surface. Now you put a fresh piece of meat, vegetables, or fish on top of those toxic carcinogens. Guess what? You're going to transfer that right onto the next piece of meat. Now, look, most of us enjoy grilled foods, all right? And it's okay to have it once in a while, but here are a couple of tips that will help you lower your risk of being exposed to the carcinogens in these foods. Now, I promise you, I will tell you about foods that you should eat, but I wanted to point out some of the foods that you've got to be careful about. So the first thing you want to do next time you're grilling food is to clean that grill and wipe down those grates. Okay? That black chart, get it off before each use. And of course, after each use, so you have a better surface next time, coated with pH and HCAs, these two carcinogens. Number one, number two, don't stand over the grill too long, right? So, the classic thing that people do when they're grilling, you stand there with your apron and your hat or whatever, and you're sitting in with the tongs right over the grill. Well, that smoke is going onto your face. That's kind of part of that experience. Well, watch out. That smoke is coming off the grill. That smoke contains the pH and HCAs right into your face. You really don't want that to stand back from the grill when you're actually putting meat or fish or vegetables on it. Now, the third thing you want to do is to lower the carcinogens that develop during grilling. One thing you can do is to marinate your food, meat, fish, vegetables, right? Marinate them using the juice from tropical fruits, right? So, pineapples and citrus too and things like that. Because I'll tell you why. The juice from the tropical fruits can contain antioxidants, all right? You want to dust it with some cumin, turmeric, that'll also help. But these antioxidants will help to neutralize those harmful carcinogens that can actually form. So you're really kind of fighting back against the carcinogens that can actually develop during grilling. And the fourth thing you want to do to lower your risk of developing cancer or being exposed to cancer-causing elements in grilled food is, well, this is the easy one. Just don't eat grilled foods too often. Like I said, most of us actually enjoy the taste of grilled food. Kind of, it's like a human thing, right? Like cooking over the fire. But I'm telling you right here, right now, that grilling can contribute to some of the increase in the risk of developing cancer. Cancer risk can increase because of the byproducts of the grilling process itself. Okay, now I want to focus on what foods you should eat if you've been diagnosed with cancer, all right? Now, again, I'm a doctor, and virtually every cancer patient I've ever met has asked me, or the oncologist, hey, doc, what should I eat to help me fight my cancer? What should I do at home? Unfortunately, most oncologists don't give the patients a real and scientifically accurate answer. In fact, it's too bad because some oncologists even say, hey, eat whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. Just don't lose too much weight because, that's a whole thing over cancer treatment. You can actually lose a lot of weight as cancer progresses. Well, let me tell you, when that oncologist said, eat whatever you want, it doesn't really matter. Nothing can be further from the truth. So you want the real deal, the unplugged version of this? Let me just tell you, food matters. And this is because your body is hardwired with health defense systems that help us naturally fight cancer. So when you have cancer, your health defense has failed. And now you've got to actually show them back up and activate them so they can actually help the medicines work along with the medicines to help to fight cancer. This isn't food versus medicine. It's food and medicine. You want to actually eat foods to activate those health defenses. Now, I write about these health defenses in my book, Eat to Beat Disease. If you haven't seen it, you can get it wherever books are sold. There are 5 health defenses. All of them help us fight cancer naturally, and all of them can be activated by our food. So what are the 5? The first is angiogenesis. That's how our body grows blood vessels. And one of the feeding cancers, the second health defense is our regeneration system. So look, cancer develops, your body gets rid of it and get to replace where the cancer was. It can regenerate. And if you're getting cancer treatment like chemotherapy, targeted therapy, etc., or having surgery, your body has to heal. After the cancer's been killed off, it regenerates from the inside out. Second, health defense. You can stimulate that with food. Third is our gut microbiome. You've heard of gut health, right? Yep, that's 39 trillion healthy bacteria in our gut, mostly in our colon. In fact, the early part of our colon, an area called the cecum, those healthy bacteria help to lower inflammation in your body. They'll help boost immunity so you can actually fight off the cancer cells. And again, all of this actually combines powerfully and is activated by food, along with whatever cancer treatment your doctor or oncologist is giving you. So nothing could be further from the truth than saying, if you're this amount, just eat anything. No, you want to eat the foods that activate the system. Next health defense against cancer is our DNA repair and protection system, right? Cancer is basically a mutation of our DNA, all right? Mutated DNA, mutated cells, mutant cells lead to more immune cells. They pile up, and now you've got a cancer tumor. All right, so our DNA protection system defends the mutant DNA by getting rid of it or fixing it. So it doesn't actually become a full-blown cancer. You want your DNA protection system fixed, and foods can activate that too. That's why you want to actually eat anti-inflammatory food. So lower inflammation, okay? And then the other thing you want to do with foods is to boost your immunity. All right, when I went to medical school, basically food was never taught. So remember, food is not a substitute